This is grotesque. I mean, we knew it was coming. It's, I mean, you knew that this is what they were doing, but yet somehow still seeing it in practice. I think it's more bizarre that they were so casually discussing this. Literally, why there's a child in a pie dish. I have those same Pyrex pie dishes at home. So that was like mentally jarring to see a Pyrex pie dish in which I have prepared my youngest favorite chocolate pie ever in that dish, and then I see it in this video, and there's a child in there. You can see the arms, you can see the legs. They're picking it apart and laughing and talking about pricing. Where's your reaction to this?
I think intellectually people have known for a while that this sort of thing, not the sale of the body parts, but that this is tiny babies that we're talking about. But you would always assume that there wouldn't have the kind of reactions. The people involved in this process must know that if they're going, even if they're going to do this, there must be a gravity involved, and the sort of the flippant nature that they show when they're talking about these things. I think that's among the more jarring parts of this. So the most jarring, of course, is what you say, what you just mentioned, which is seeing a tiny baby dismembered on a plate, and then the discussions about this for sale. I think, if anything, what this does is it moves, you know, there's so much of the abortion debate that goes on and is always forced, particularly for conservatives, into the extreme. You know, what's your position on rape and incest? That's the only question that candidates, for example, get asked. Now we see this, and it's to the other side of it. Now we have to force the other side to say, well, is this okay? Are you okay with this, what's in these videos? And Dana, what I think is amazing is that a lot of Americans actually who are pro-choice look at this and say, yeah, I'm okay with that. There are people who are still okay with it, which has exposed, I think, how depraved and sick this has gotten.
Dan, someone I saw on my Twitter timeline today was saying, well, the Earth is dealing with overpopulation, so who cares about, you know, a couple of instances? Well, that's not a couple of instances. How can someone rationalize that?
I don't know. Like, when I look at this video, the first thing I saw was the little hand, you know, and the toes sitting there, and I'm just like, how do you think of that as anything else but a human being? And I'm constantly amazed at the ability of these people that are for the Planned Parenthoods to turn their brains off and then just say it's tissue. I mean, I had to bring this guy from the Guardian wrote a defense of this, and he said the anti-Planned Parenthood videos failed to make the case against abortion. Here's his big evidence. He says, as with the two previous videos, what this shows us is that abortions produce fetal tissue. The videos do not show Planned Parenthood doing anything illegal or unethical. I mean, that is clearly a human being sitting on the table. You can call it fetal tissue all you want. That's a human being. Yeah,
how do you get, Ben, how do you get beating hearts and working lungs from just, you know, just a regular old fetal tissue?
I think they've intellectually trapped themselves. I mean, there are some people, certainly, like Buck was saying, that they are completely fine with this. I think there are a lot of people who just can't even accept that this is what they've been supporting the whole time. And so they're telling themselves, hey, when people die, they donate their organs, their hands there, so that's fine, right?
Willingly.
They're missing the part where the surgeon didn't murder them.
Right.
But I think that they have to tell themselves that there's something normal about this, because otherwise they're supporting baby murder, which in terms of political differences, you know, that's a pretty big deal. When you've got the non-baby murder candidate and the pro-baby murder candidate, you would think that the difference would be pretty stark.
Yeah. Lawrence, the clinics reportedly reprimanded their employees who failed to produce enough specimens because Planned Parenthood needed dollars. That was explained by Holly O'Donnell in these videos.
Yeah, that's not enough. I want them all behind bars. I think when I look at this, I see different cases that happen across America, and there's such a rush to judgment. There's such a rush for an investigation. There's a rush to get the FBI involved. Yet we have physical evidence of them torturing children, not just murdering them, but they can feel what's going on. And there is just no type of compassion. There's no rush to get the feds involved. There's no rush from Congress. They're sitting here, you know, ready to, you know, get the White House rainbow. But when an actual situation that is affecting Americans, I mean, even with that article that he talks about population control, do they realize that was Sanger's message to black people, that they really wanted to exterminate the entire race? That's how ignorant these people are.